You did.
You made a fantastic decision.
You didn't. Anyway,
Oh my God.
it was like that.
Oh my
But
gosh,
now,
I'm in
so
shock
nice.
right now.
Sure, I mean, audiences are affected by everything. You know, right now F1's created challenges.
There isn't a kind of country music. Country music is evolving. It's always evolved. It expands, it contracts, it expands, it contracts.
The best sandwich.
What is the best sandwich?
Well, I love a salad sandwich. Do you know what a salad sandwich is?
And everyone's desperately trying to find out who's to blame for this split.
Happens everywhere you go, though. Like when you walk into a restaurant, do you have it queued up, ready to go?
Listen, don't laugh. When Martin Sheen was playing the president on The West Wing, he insisted on having Hail to the Chief played when he arrived on set.
Serious?
You never thought you'd see it. Nicole Kidman walking through the Paris rain, flashing that soft smile, the kind that hides a story behind it. The cameras go off in every direction. The Chanel logo glows behind her, and her wedding ring gone. After nearly 2 decades of being one half of Hollywood's perfect couple, the silence around her finger says everything. You can feel it. Something's shifted. It wasn't supposed to end this way. Since 2006, you've seen Nicole and Keith move through the red carpets hand in hand. The glamorous actress and the country music star, 2 worlds that somehow balanced each other. But fame has a strange way of testing love. Long nights on tour, months of filming across continents, and the constant spotlight that never dims. It all adds up. And slowly, the smiles that once felt real start to feel rehearsed. People close to them say it was Keith who stepped away first. The distance had grown too wide to bridge, even for a love that once looked unbreakable. He's in Nashville, pouring his thoughts into melodies, while she's in Paris, stepping into a new era as the face of Chanel. It's not just a rebranding, it's a rebirth. And maybe that's the hardest part. Watching 2 people who built a life together start rewriting their stories separately. The whispers say Nicole isn't broken though. She's focused, controlled, quietly reclaiming herself while the world watches her every move. You can't tell if she's mourning or simply moving on, but one thing is certain. The era of Nicole and Keith is over. You remember when it all began, 2005, the red carpet glowed and Nicole Kidman had that soft, cautious smile. She had already lived through Hollywood's storms, her divorce from Tom Cruise, the rumors, the loneliness that followed. Then Keith Urban appeared, the charming Australian country singer with that disarming grin and the kind of warmth that felt rare in her world. You could almost see it, 2 people from the same land, both scarred by fame, somehow finding comfort in each other. Their connection was instant. Within a year, they were married in a quiet ceremony back home in Sydney. It wasn't about the cameras, the designer dresses, or the headlines. It was simple, personal, and full of hope. For a moment, it felt like Nicole had finally escaped the chaos of Hollywood love stories. Keith would write songs about her. She'd smile through award shows, always saying he saved her life. You believed it too. They made it look real. But the thing about real love in the public eye is that it's never just between 2 people. Every fight becomes a headline. Every tear, a viral moment. Behind those smiles, there were struggles. Keith's battle with addiction, Nicole's need for emotional closeness, and the never-ending pressure to perform as the perfect couple. They made it through the scandals, the rehab stays, the tabloids. But every survival leaves scars. Now, years later, those scars seem to have reopened. The same love that once looked like destiny is now just a memory, fading behind designer lenses and red carpet flashes. You can feel it. The fairy tale they once sold to the world has quietly fallen apart, piece by piece. You start to realize it didn't happen overnight. Endings like this never do. For years, little cracks had been forming between them, the kind you only notice when it's already too late. Keith was always somewhere on the road, lost in the rhythm of guitars and stage lights, while Nicole was halfway across the world. Movie sets in Europe, press tours in New York, photo shoots in Paris. 2 lives orbiting the same love, but rarely crossing paths. At first they tried. FaceTimes between flights, surprise visits on tour, red carpet reunions that looked perfect for the cameras. But when love becomes something you have to schedule, it starts to feel like work. Insiders say Nicole wanted more time together, while Keith needed the stage. It was his therapy, his escape. They loved each other, but they wanted different versions of life, and sometimes that's enough to break even the strongest bond. People close to them whisper about quiet arguments, long silences at dinners, and those small moments where connection just disappears. Friends noticed Keith stopped mentioning Nicole in interviews. Nicole, too, became more guarded, her smiles more formal. When she started appearing at events alone, fans thought it was just career career timing, but the truth was already unfolding behind closed doors. Then came the Chanel deal, Nicole stepping back into the spotlight, not as half of a couple, but as her own brand again. It was subtle but powerful. Every photo, every quote, every look, it all said the same thing. She's reclaiming herself. Meanwhile, Keith's latest songs started to sound different, softer, sadder, like a man still singing to someone who isn't listening anymore. And maybe that's what hurts most, realizing love can end quietly, with no scandal, just distance. You can't help but notice how calm Nicole looks through all of this. Almost too calm. The breakup news hits every outlet. Paparazzi swarm outside Chanel's Paris event, but she doesn't flinch. No teary interviews, no cryptic posts, no quotes about heartbreak, just quiet confidence, like someone who's been here before and knows exactly how to survive it. It's not denial, it's control. Nicole has learned that in Hollywood, silence is more powerful than any statement. Behind that poise, though, the whispers grow louder. Some say the marriage started unraveling years ago, after Keith's world tour pulled him away for months. Others claim it was Nicole's career resurgence, the late nights on set, the creative obsession that consumed her. Neither side cheated, neither exploded in public. It was just two lives that slowly drifted apart. The kind of ending that doesn't need villains, just timing. Close friends say Nicole saw the split coming. She had already started separating her identity from the marriage. Solo projects, independent appearances, new management, even her move toward fashion, becoming the face of Chanel, feels symbolic. It's not just a campaign, it's her rebirth. A message that she's no longer someone's wife or someone's muse. She's Nicole Kidman, unfiltered. Meanwhile, Keith's been seen less, spending more time in Nashville studios, skipping award shows he once never missed. His music is shifting too, layered with quiet grief and introspection. It's not bitterness, it's reflection. He hasn't said much publicly, but insiders say he's struggling with the silence, unsure whether to reach out or let her go. You can feel the balance, her calm against his chaos, her rebirth against his regret. It's not the explosive Hollywood ending people expected. It's quieter, colder, and somehow more real. You start to see how different their worlds have become. Nicole, now in her late 50s, is entering this strange new era where experience becomes power. Every brand wants her face, every magazine calls her timeless, and every step she takes feels deliberate, measured, strategic, unstoppable. She's not chasing fame anymore, she's mastering it. And then there's Keith, the heart-on-sleeve performer who built his image on emotion. You can almost hear the pain in his new tracks, the kind that only comes from someone who's lost his anchor. The songs sound less like country ballads now, and more like confessions, each line bleeding with nostalgia for what used to be. He once said Nicole was the calm in his chaos. Now, without her, the noise feels heavier. People close to him say he tried to fix things. The late-night calls, the letters, the one last chance talks. But Nicole had already made peace with the ending. You can tell, not because she stopped caring, but because she stopped fighting. When someone finds clarity after years of emotional fatigue, no grand gesture can bring them back. Her friends describe her days as quieter, morning walks, script readings, long hours at the Chanel office, the kind of stillness that comes from rebuilding yourself. But it's not sadness that defines her now, it's transformation. She's not escaping a marriage, she's evolving past it. Meanwhile, Hollywood watches, fascinated. The tabloids spin their usual stories, secret flings, hidden reasons, insider drama, but Nicole doesn't feed the noise. Every photo, every appearance, every smile is a masterclass in control. And maybe that's her final message to the world. Sometimes strength isn't loud. It's graceful, composed, and perfectly silent. You start to notice the shift. The public isn't treating Nicole like a victim. They're treating her like a woman in charge of her own narrative. And maybe that's what makes this breakup different from the rest. Hollywood loves a scandal, but this time there isn't one. No affair, no fight, no mess. Just two people quietly choosing different futures. Still, it's not easy living under that microscope. Every photo gets analyzed. Every smile gets labeled as fake or forced. Yet, Nicole never bites back. She's too seasoned for that. After decades of surviving headlines, she knows the only thing more powerful than noise is mystery. And while everyone speculates about how she's really doing, she keeps moving forward. Another campaign, another red carpet, another reminder that she doesn't need a man to stay relevant. Keith, on the other hand, isn't as used to being the story. He's the one usually singing about heartbreak, not living it under public scrutiny. Now, every lyric he writes feels like a confession, every silence like guilt. Fans sense it too. The raw edge in his performances, the emotion he doesn't try to hide. It's beautiful, and painful all at once. But deep down, you can feel that this isn't about hate. There's still a quiet respect between them, the kind that lingers even after love fades. They built a life, raised children, shared nearly 2 decades of memories. You don't erase that overnight, and maybe that's what makes this ending so haunting. It's not dramatic, not destructive, it's human. It's the kind of love story that doesn't crash. It just fades into stillness. A slow, elegant ending that feels less like failure and more like acceptance. You think about how every Hollywood love story eventually becomes a headline. But this one feels different. There's no chaos, no betrayal, no public meltdown, just the quiet realization that even the strongest bonds can outgrow themselves. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban didn't fall apart overnight. They simply reached the edge of their story, and instead of clinging to what used to be, they let go, gracefully. Nicole now stands exactly where she's meant to be, at the center of her own world. The Chanel deal isn't just another campaign, it's a statement. Every photo shoot, every pose, every whisper of fabric says one thing: she's writing her next chapter on her own terms. It's the calm confidence of a woman who's already survived Hollywood once and refuses to let heartbreak define her again. Keith, meanwhile, is still finding his footing. You can sense the vulnerability in his music, the ache that comes from losing your muse, but there's healing in his pain too. For him, art has always been therapy, and maybe this time, the heartbreak will bring his most honest work yet. Their story isn't about failure, it's about evolution. They loved, they built, they endured, and when it no longer fit, they chose peace over pretense. That's rare in this industry. No press tours, no blame games, just 2 souls quietly moving toward different horizons. And as the world keeps talking, dissecting, and speculating, you realize something. Maybe the most powerful love stories aren't the ones that last forever. Maybe they're the ones that teach you when to let go and how to walk away with grace.